Welcome to episode 77 of Beyond Social Media Show. My name is David Erickson. I'm your co-host. You can find me at @DErickson on Twitter. You can find me at the e-strategyblog.com. And I'm with, of course, my co-host, BL Ochman. BL you can find at What's Next on Twitter. Her blog is what'snextblog.com. She writes for Ad Age, and she is CEO of Maximum Dash Plus, where you can hire her to help you with all things Google+. So we always start off with the bungled stories of the week. What was the worst thing that happened during the week in communications? We followed up with the best stuff that happened and talk about some shiny new objects we love, and follow it up with some stats you'll want to know. BL, you always have the honors of what horrible thing happened last week.
Well, you know, a lot of stuff happened last week, but before we get to that, I want to wish everybody a happy holiday. And so one of the things that happened was that Amazon was broken for a while, and everything cost 1 pence. It was Amazon in Europe, and everything cost 1 pence, and business owners were suddenly facing bankruptcy if they had to fulfill all these orders, and some of them did, and some of them, and Amazon caught it, and then they said they would make good on it, and you know, who that's worse for is the consumer. Amazon can afford it.
Yeah, very good. I would not be surprised if they followed up and made all those merchants whole after losing that. That's a tough thing because it's software that was doing it, right? It was automatically repricing things for merchants so they could have the lowest price for their items, and there was a glitch in the software, as I understood it.
Yeah, there was. It was the software, and you know, so wouldn't that be Amazon's fault?
Yeah, right. But well, I mean, yeah, I don't know whether it's Amazon's fault, but I wouldn't be surprised if they make good on it because they're Amazon, and that's not good for them to have merchants going bankrupt.
You know what? They have insurance. I'm sure they have insurance that pays for incidences like that. So I think the consumer is the one, you know, that paid in the end because everybody's like, oh wow, it's my lucky day. No, it's not. So okay, so this is in the WTF department. A new Ray Rice video has surfaced. ABC News got the exclusive on it. He's sued to prevent it from being made public, and it's the 45 minutes that happened after he knocked out Janae Rice in the elevator. And the aftermath was they were both arrested. Why was she arrested? Why was she in handcuffs? So you see them, first you see her, and she's crying, and her staff is treating her injuries, and then he comes in, and she tries to get away from him, and then they are taken away for whatever in the same elevator, both still handcuffed. She's handcuffed, and she nuzzles up to him and kisses him. And you know what? This is just so sad. He's pond scum in my book.
Yeah, it's absolutely sad. I don't know that I got anything to add. It's just there's video everywhere.
Yeah, but you know, he was reinstated. Why? Why?
I don't think he's gonna get a job in the NFL. I'd be shocked if he does.
Let's hope not. So, okay, I have another one on a much lighter note. This is the gift I don't want anybody to buy me. It's called Ringly, and it's very pretty, and it costs between $195 and $260, depending on what stone is on the ring, which uses Bluetooth to communicate with your phone or your tablet, and you get different lighting or vibration configurations so that you can see what's happening on your phone with just a glance at your finger, and by the way, so can the rest of the world. So when my phone rings, I get red LED flashes and 3 hepatic pulses in a row, or if I get an email, I get a blue LED, and you know, that would be constant in my case, and of course people do notice the ring flashing, so maybe you just want it to vibrate, or maybe you just wouldn't want to wear it. So don't anybody get me that for Christmas, because I don't want to know what's going on my phone all the time. You know what? Sometimes I turn my phone off.
Well, it sounds a little bit like the sneakers that flash when you walk around.
Those I like. I always admire kids whose shoes light up. I always want those. Oh, by the way, just a little housekeeping. Sadly, guys, we're sorry, but Comment Tracker is busted. It's not working for us right now. So we'll do our best to take a look at the event page for your comments, but we just can't make it work. We talked to Gerwin Strom. He's working on it, and he sees that it's a glitch on his side, he thinks, but he'll fix it. He always fixes it. Anyway, sorry about that.
So I think the biggest story of the week and maybe the year is this whole warfare thing with.
Is it ever?
Oh my God! So if you have your head under a rock, Sony was attacked by hackers who the FBI have now identified as being from North Korea. Sony is, we often don't think of it, but they're a Japanese company. They're headquartered in Japan. So there is a geopolitical dimension to this story, right? They're right in North Korea's backyard. North Korea, or the hackers, threatened violence if the movie The Interview was screened with Seth Rogen. And the premise of the movie is these buffoons go and get an interview with Kim Jong-il and are tasked by the CIA to assassinate him. So it's a spoof, it's a parody, it's a comedy. Several theaters announced that they'd screen Team America World Police by the makers of South Park instead when that movie was pulled, when The Interview was pulled. And then Paramount came out and banned the screening of Team America. So there's serious national security issues. Obviously, if you can't trust the integrity of your internal communications, companies need to make sure that they've got as robust security as possible. But this is a national security issue as well, because it's an economic issue as well. This is a major story. Freedom of speech, right? The president had it exactly right. If we can't have a society where, what his quote is, we cannot have a society in which some dictator someplace can start imposing censorship here in the United States. It is an assault on our ideals. So this is huge, and I don't know what the solution is, but man.
This is absolutely huge, and it wasn't just this movie. They also released and streamed the new Annie and one other film, so those were like the big holiday blockbusters, and now the Sony employees are suing Sony for breach of security, and some of what I've read said that, you know, they were penny wise and pound foolish about their security, and one of the things Obama said was that he wished that they had spoken to him before they made their decision, but you know, I think this is going to be discussed in MBA programs for decades as a case study, and I don't know the solution either. My dad thought that they should have released it, and it should have been free, which I think is a very interesting approach, and they should have run it for a week and then take it out of the theaters just to say, no way, we're not bowing to you. But then the big question is, who would go see it?
I would. I really probably wouldn't have seen this. But
no. I mean, would you go to the theater?
I'm not I just don't believe that they can pull that off. And the odds of it happening are just infinitesimal. But you know what? I'm not a belligerent patriot, but I am a patriot. I am patriotic to my country. And I would absolutely go and buy a ticket to it just to say, oh, and by the way, hey, North Korea, I can still watch Team America, so...
I don't think that canceling it was a great move, but honestly, I don't know what they should have done, and it's going to take a heavy economic price. And do not forget that North Korea is nuclear armed. Just throw that in there, for what that's worth. What else you got, Dave? Anything a little lighter?
A little lighter, but so sort of along the same lines, though. Google shut down their Google News in Spain because the Spanish government passed a law that will go into effect in January 1 of next year, that would require news aggregators to pay publishers for including snippets, as Google News does, to news stories along with the links to those news stories, right? So this was apparently this is an attempt to protect Spanish publishers' copyrights, but it looks like they're having some regret, because I'm sure a lot of people are losing a lot of traffic to their sites due to this. So that's just, I mean, requiring that for an aggregator is really, it's not just an economic issue, it's not just a copyright issue, it's wrong-headed, and it affects our ability to have as much knowledge as we can.
You know, I think this happened once before. I think it was Yahoo the last time it happened. I'll have to look that up. But when it comes to copyright, Google is not exactly lily white either. You know, my friend Susan Finch was saying that she did a live hangout from a kid's, what sport are you playing right now, hockey? And they were playing the Star-Spangled Banner in the background at the event, and they got a copyright strike on the video. What?
Yeah, that needs to be fixed. I will say though, I mean, this is a fundamental assault on the basic infrastructure of the internet. Links.
Absolutely.
It's like, come on.
Yeah, anyway. It really is, and the issue of free speech is so huge for us right now. It's very frightening that this issue is as big an issue as it has become in so many different ways.
Yep. Speaking of free speech, Greenpeace exercised their speech recently, but they did it in a way that was really boneheaded and stupid. They went to an stunt at the UN World Heritage Site in Peru. Greenpeace activists laid down a message promoting clean energy beside the famed figure of the hummingbird for the Nazca lines, right? Those things that you get, those figures that you can only see from the air, that are drawn onto the ground in huge expanses of land. They're very fragile, and Greenpeace activists went in there and put their protest message there. The deputy culture minister of Peru said it was a slap in the face of everything Peruvians consider sacred. The government is looking to prevent those people, the Greenpeace people, from leaving the country, and they want to prosecute them. There's a crime punishable up to 6 years in prison for attacking agricultural monuments. The activists entered a strictly prohibited area. They laid a big yellow cloth letters reading "Time for change. The future is renewable," and they defaced the cultural heritage of Peru. So I'm pretty sympathetic with most of what Greenpeace is trying to do, but not the way to do it.
That's really boneheaded. That's exactly the right word for it. You know, it is. I agree that much of what they do is really worthwhile, and they go about it in ways that I often admire. This isn't one of those instances. So, Dave, you have a little feedback. Okay, so you have more bad news, and then let's go to good news.
Okay. This one's quick. I came across an ad on Quartz. Quartz is a website, qz.com, for executives, and it was an ad by Comcast, and it was for a video, and I don't even know what it didn't want to even watch the video, but the headline of it said, Comcast supports net neutrality, and I just laughed.
Comcast does not.
Net neutrality. All I know is this. I know that Netflix streams effortlessly, and Amazon Prime videos always buffer. And who has the deal with Comcast? I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, you know, this is one of those three guys in a room somewhere deciding how things are going to go. Just in that room. You know?
Just as we talked about that, we're getting buffering issues.
We are. I think we're fixing. I think it's fixed. Okay, so are we on to good news, Dave?
We are.
We are. Okay. really admire what Pepsi's doing with their new video series and for Pepsi Max, and the latest one is a time tunnel, and it's had 5.3 million views already. And basically, for some reason, people are walking through a dark tunnel. I haven't quite figured out what they're all doing in there, but all of a sudden, like by using some sort of advanced projection, they're confronted with dinosaurs, and people are like, oh my god. And then a big Pepsi Max comes on the screen, and when people scream and people laugh and people, I mean, it's just so funny to watch the reactions. And the other one, the one that I love, was the one they did on Halloween, where you walked it was called Monster Mirror. You walked into a movie theater, and you're standing there looking at yourself, and all of a sudden you have a virtual reality clown face. Could anything be scarier than a clown on your face? And it moved with you, and if you moved your eyes, the eyes of it moved, and it had monsters with all kinds of funny, scary faces. And one guy ran out of the bathroom so fast, and most people were like laughing and getting out their cameras to do selfies. But what a hoot!
That's great. Well, I mean, the reaction video is a format that works, right? There's a whole channel on kids, very popular YouTube.
Candid camera. Yeah. I love the ones with kids. I mean, they're so adorable. A million years ago, my niece was in one where they were asking kids if they knew how to wink when they were in kindergarten. And I guess winking is something that kind of comes later to your muscle ability, but the faces were so adorable. So, an interesting one, Target has an in-store holiday experience for mobile for their shoppers, and despite the fact that 75% of shoppers use their mobile phone at some phase of their shopping experience, Google's research shows that 82% of purchases are still made at the cash register in a store. So Target has this, in conjunction with Google, they have this game called Bullseye's Playground, and it's an in-store gaming experience that's done with Google's art, copy, and code team. And for every time that somebody plays a game, Target donates $1 to St. Jude's Children's Hospital, up to $1 million. And so how it works is that there are 6 mobile games for the family, and they feature the dog mascot, the Bull Terrier, and some friends, and they send you unlock the points within the game, and you're sent to different areas of the store to find codes that unlock more of it, and at the same time, of course, offer you things to buy and discounts and coupons. And there's a robo dinosaur, and you can have a snowball fight, and it's just really, it's really a fun kind of a thing. But what was interesting to me was that 82% of purchases are still made at the cash register in a physical store.
That's very clever. I mean, that's obviously they're gathering data on in-store behavior through using that game, but that's a very clever way of going about it. And in the angle of donating the proceeds to getting feedback in, is Target. Because they do contribute a lot to the local communities each store too. So.
Oh, Target is very philanthropic. I think they're one of the top 5 in corporate America. So it's pretty impressive. What have you got, Dave?
Liam Neeson. Everybody likes Liam Neeson, right? So he's promoting his new film, the third in the series of the Taken movies, Taken 3, and it's a very clever campaign. It's a clever and funny follow-gating campaign on LinkedIn, of all places. So Liam Neeson's character, Brian Mills is his name, will record a video endorsing your skills based on your LinkedIn profile. So they're trying to get people to follow this LinkedIn page. They'll pick out one lucky winner who will have a video of Liam Neeson endorsing you based on your skills on LinkedIn. They've so far got 30,000 followers. So I don't know whether those numbers are great, but it's a very clever campaign.
What a great idea. Well, I mean, the reason for doing it there, odd as that seems, is that, really only LinkedIn and Google Plus of the social networks, and Instagram, LinkedIn and Google Plus are indexed in search. Twitter and Facebook are not. So you do a campaign there, basically it's not going to help you in search. You do it on LinkedIn, and you'll come up really high in the ratings. So that's brilliant.
Yeah, very good. Very good point. Yeah.
Also brilliant was the Colbert Report send-off. Oh my God. They had a sing-along to We'll Meet Again, and it had everybody on there. Bill Clinton, Bill de Blasio, Willie Nelson, Randy Newman, Katie Couric, Alex Trebek, Cyndi Lauper, Abraham Lincoln, and Santa Claus. Everybody was part of it. Jeff Tweedy. The Cookie Monster and Big Bird and Bryan Cranston, James Franco. It was a hoot, and just the most fun. Wow, that was great, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant.
That was fabulous. It's a joy to watch, really. So I'm interested in Amazon's every move, and they recently bought a live video gaming tournament operator. With the aim of injecting brands into live streaming video gaming. And I've always thought that video games would become spectator sport, and here we go, they are. The name of the company is called Good Game. They host video game tournaments, and that's followed by the purchase of Twitch TV, which is the live streaming of video games, so people can go to Twitch TV and watch people play video games. Amazon owns a video game studio. Their Fire Tablet and Fire Phone and Fire TV platforms are gaming platforms. So they're really positioning all of these acquisitions, positioning themselves as a destination for video game content. Twitch has 60 million monthly unique viewers. The Twitch Chief Operating Officer, Kevin Lin, was quoted as saying, "We want to bring more brands into esports. It's a very heavy millennial audience, males 18 to 34. They don't watch cable. They play a lot of video games. League of Legends, a video game, their annual championship tournament offers a $2.7 million prize pool and attracts live audience of 40,000 people and was watched online by more than 30 million people last year, according to Lynn. So this is huge. The industry is bigger than Hollywood."
Isn't watching someone else play video games kind of like watching paint dry? I mean, if you're not participating, why is that fun?
Not. Absolutely not. It's entertaining. If you like a video game, it's fun.
I'll take your word for it, Dave. Speaking of Amazon and their quest for world domination, they're adding a Dutch auction-style feature that lets users bid with a make an offer button. TechCrunch reported that, and they've rolled it out to about 150,000 products so far, and it's a one-to-one negotiation, which is really that's fascinating. And the seller can say yes, no, or make a counter offer to negotiate a price, and it's going to be extended in the new year. Part of their strategy to compete with everybody on the planet, but particularly eBay and I guess Etsy and places where unique products are sold. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not a good bargainer, honestly. Tell me what it costs, I'll pay you. My motto is I could get it for you retail. I mean, I don't know. But a lot of people really like that, I guess. Look at eBay.
Yeah, I'm not into haggling, but
a lot of people are. I mean, you can haggle. You can go in a department store and haggle. You can go pretty much anywhere. I've watched people do it. They're buying underwear and they go, "Are you sure this is the best price?" And they get a better price than I do. So I'm not a big fan of Skype, but Skype has a translator in video that translates what you're saying in real time. And I applied for an invitation. It told me that I will get one when it goes live, but that would be a game changer if you could speak to people in other languages and have simultaneous translation, assuming it's a better translator than Google Translations, because Google Translation still says things like, things that are nonsensical. So assuming that what you get is not nonsensical, if it's real translation, which I think the capability does exist for, that's amazing.
That is amazing. I mean, I guess there's a basic technology behind it. WordLens app. It's the augmented reality app where you point it at any text and it reads it. If it's in Spanish, it'll switch over to and show you in real time what is being said in English. So there's sort of that translation technology, but I think in video, that's amazing.
In video, it is kind of amazing. And speaking of video, Google just added something to Hangout videos. They added the auto magic, I guess, where that they have added to their photos. Ray Hills reported on that last night. Just as you can automatically enhance your photos, you can set it, they'll automatically enhance your videos, and so that's to make up for some of the bad lighting and messy backgrounds that people have, and so it will do its best to make us all look better.
That's very nice. They do a very good job with the photos, so if they can do it for video.
They do. I mean, it really is kind of incredible. And YouTube also added an easy GIF maker that you can make. Did you say GIF or GIF? I don't know. I've heard it both ways.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, I say GIF too. Who knows if it's right? But it lets you easily make GIFs out of from your videos. So that is pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Have you tried it yet? I've been meaning to try it.
I haven't tried it yet. I was going to try it this weekend and see. Maybe with this show we can do it.
There we go. Speaking of YouTube, as everybody's coming out with their best of 2014 lists, right? YouTube is no exception. They have a 2014 recap, which went viral, of course. So it's turned down for 2014. The video chronicles all the things that happened that were popular. So they have the Ice Bucket Challenge. They got Kid President. They've got Frozen. Are all mentioned throughout the video. It's pretty entertaining. Earned more than 51 million views in the last week, making it easy #1 on the Visible Measures viral video chart for the week ending on Sunday. But it also made the 2013 best of YouTube video popular again. So what does 2013 say, that video, for the recap of the year for 2013? Made it back onto the charts at #8 with 3.2 million views for the week. So that says something about the tie between your existing content and your new content, and try and look for ways to gain some traction on old content.
What was the top in 2013? Do you remember? It was probably Gangnam.
Imagine.
That would be my guess. Yeah. So you have some more, don't you?
That's it for my cool stuff, my new stuff, for best stuff.
Okay. What about you have some apps here?
Oh, yeah. So these are apps, but new features of existing tools. SlideShare is offering analytics for all now. So you can tell the most interesting thing, the thing that I wanted most, is where is my traffic coming to my SlideShare documents on SlideShare. So now you get to see that. Google Plus lets you pin Google Plus posts to pages and profiles. So now we have that ability, which is nice. So we'll start pinning our events to the top of the Beyond Social Media Google Plus page. This is not new, but I've been playing around with it, and it's great. InstaQuote App. If you haven't used it, you got to try it. It's very easy to create. Everybody knows that quotes go viral, so using this app is a really easy way to do that. And then finally, I started playing around. This is again not a new thing, but I've just started using it. WorkFlowy. It's an app that you can use in the browser. It's a mobile app, and it basically allows you to do really easy lists, and it's a productivity app, and you can actually collaborate on it too. So it's very elegant. It has some very advanced features, but it's super easy to use, and it's a way of basically my to-do list for the day. I use it for now and keep it in my browser.
Oh, I'm going to go there. I started using Toggl, T-O-G-G-L, this week to keep time, of what I'm doing, and it's in your browser, and it's in the what is the top of the browser called? The top of the browser. You can use it on a web page, or you can use it as a thing on the top, and it's really great, and it gives you reports on what you did all week. And there's a free and a paid version. The paid version lets you do your billing from there. If you freelance like I do, that's really helpful. And I think that keeping track of all of these has become sort of difficult. So during the 2 weeks that we're going to take off between now and next year, I'm going to work on compiling for everybody our apps, because I think we have found some that are pretty terrific, but they kind of get lost in the shuffle. So that's my project while we're off the air for a while. So,
BL, you rock. And not just for doing that, but you actually do officially rock, as if anybody didn't know that before. But BL wouldn't bring this up. I have to bring it up. BL is listed on Lee Oden's top 25 women who rock social media blog post, and it is an impressive list. It has Abby the astronaut on it, Abigail Harrison, who we talked about in a previous episode, and it has Yahoo's director of social media, a bunch of really top-notch people, and of course BL is top amongst those. So congratulations.
Thanks, Dave. I never, in my wildest imagination, I never thought I would ever be on any list that included a would-be astronaut. What a list! I mean, what fabulous women are on that list. I was really honored and thrilled to be part of that list. And it's the last time he's going to do it, so that's kind of cool too.
All right. So we'll leave a link there so everybody can you're already following BL, but there's a bunch of other very impressive women to follow on social media there. I've got a best of the best list, so I'll keep a link in there. I talked about the YouTube video, but I've compiled the list of Google's top searches of 2014, Yahoo's top searches of 2014, a bunch of other sort of marketing communications related lists. And then finally, we are working our way towards getting on iTunes. As BL said, we're going to take a break until next year. So by the time we return on January 10 for our first episode of the new year, hopefully we'll be on iTunes. But we may get on there sooner than January 10. So subscribe to our email newsletter, please. We're at beyondsocialmediashow.com/newsletter. You can subscribe there. We'll notify you when you go live. We're going to have a weekly newsletter that includes some exclusive content, so you want to subscribe to that. And then we'll notify you when we go live. And please do, when we do, go to iTunes and leave a review if you like the show. So that really helps in our visibility, so we really need some reviews. And there's a period of time after which you first go on iTunes where you get included in the new and noteworthy section of iTunes, which is where a lot of people notice you. So you really need to take advantage of that period of time to get as many listeners on iTunes as possible when you've got that exposure when you're a new show. So it's really important that we get that exposure. So please do, if you like the show, please do leave reviews for us when we go live. And then finally, next week I'm going to be on the panel and Beyond Social Media, or be on a panel of Social Media Breakfast in Minneapolis here on video and social media, and there's a lot of really talented people I'm going to be on with, so I'll include a link to the show notes there.
Oh, that's very cool. Is it going to be a video, Dave?
It will be. They typically live stream it, yeah. So we should have a.
Oh, let us know. Definitely let us know. That's really excellent. Great news. And I just wanted to thank you so much for all the work you've done getting the show ready for iTunes. I am always in awe of your skill set, which includes absolutely everything. Seems to be nothing you can't do. So I'm really thank you. That's really been terrific. So that brings us to daily numbers.
So we've got 2015 marketing spending plans by channel. Everybody wants to know what people are going to spend marketing dollars on. So 54% of marketers expect their budgets to grow next year. That's up from 46% last year, with 1/3 of those forecasting budget growth of at least 10%. This is from StrongView data. So drum roll, please. Where are people spending their money? 60% of marketers are expecting increased spending on email marketing. 49% are expecting increased spending on social media. 40% are getting increased spending on mobile marketing. 38% on search. 37% on display advertising. trade shows 18, so the rest are mostly it's online marketing that they're going to be spending their money on. So good news for us.
That is good news for us, and unfortunately, I can't find the damn drum roll. I'm looking for it, but I did find this lovely diamond tiara, and so and it won't come out. Okay, well, sometimes things work, and sometimes they don't. Nah, no drum roll. Birthday cake. Ah, here we go. Here we go. Better late than never. So that brings us to the end of episode 77 of the Beyond Social Media Show. We thank you for watching, and you can find us online at BeyondSocialMediaShow.com, on our Google Plus page, and on YouTube. And later we will have the video of today's show timestamped so that you can jump directly to any segment you want to watch. And we will have the links, the playlist, on the Beyond Social Media Show blog. And you can find us online. You can find Dave at D. Erickson on Twitter, on eStrategy blog, on eStrategy TV. He is also, of course, on YouTube and on Google Plus and anywhere else you can think of. Dave is there on the internet. And you can find me. I'm on Twitter at What's Next. I blog at whatsnextblog.com. I'm CEO of Maximum-Plus.com for all things Google Plus, training and events. And I occasionally write for Ad Age. I'm on YouTube. I'm everywhere, too. And we hope to see you. We're going to take a couple of weeks off and celebrate the holidays. And we will be back January 10th, right, Dave?
We will.
Yes. And in the meantime, we wish you the happiest of holidays and the most wonderful of New Year's. And can't believe it, but it will soon be 2015. Yikes.
Yep. Happy holidays, everyone.
Thanks for